Hey, so in this video, we're gonna go over 7 different side jobs that you can utilize to make some extra money in this coming year. So you can do these before work, after work, during your lunch break. It doesn't really matter. You can do this any time of the day. These are very flexible in terms of hours. So let's get into these. Pretty excited for this list. Some of these you probably haven't heard of, but they're also not gonna be some of these different ones where you see people talking about these side jobs where you're making, 5 cents for Amazon Mechanical Turk or something just ridiculous. These are all gonna be usually at least $10 an hour or more for these 7 different jobs. Some of these even $15, $20, $25 an hour for some of these side jobs. So let's get into this. Let's start with number 7, not really in any particular order, but these are very legitimate methods for earning some extra income. I've utilized a few of these. I know other people who do some of these as well, so I can really vouch for most of these methods for making money, these side income sources. So let's get into this. Let's start with number 7 here. And number 7 is honestly one of my favorite side jobs that somebody could utilize, and that's by utilizing a dog walking app. So this would be something like Rover or iWag. Now, I'm not affiliated with them. They're not paying me to mention them at all, but these just seem like really cool methods for earning income. So you can get typically between like $12 and $16 per dog that you walk. And so you'll actually get these dog walking assignments on the app. You'll go walk the dog and have fun with the dog. And so this is just really kind of a win-win situation. You get to hang out with the dog for 30 minutes to an hour, and you get paid around $12 or $16 for a 15 or 20-minute walk. And you can do this for long periods of time if you'd like, or you could just do it, during your lunch break. If you have an hour for lunch, or maybe you want to do this before work or after work, you can do this any time of the day. It's a pretty cool idea. Maybe I'll leave links to iWag or Rover in the description if I forget to put them there. Just find them on the App Store. But walking dogs is a really cool way to, hang out with dogs, have a good time, and also get paid for it and work on your own schedule. It's a pretty easy, laid-back process. Okay, let's get into number 6 here. Now, number 6 is by utilizing a website called Clarity. So it's clarity.fm. Now, I actually just got onto this site. And so what you can do with this is if you have any experience in entrepreneurship, or you've started a business in the past, or you have some type of marketing experience or SEO, there's a lot of different options behind this website, but you can essentially become an expert, and people can call you at a certain rate, and then you can give them advice, and you could, lay in bed and talk to somebody and get paid $60 an hour or $100 an hour to give them advice and be an expert in that particular field. Now, I actually just signed up for this, so I'll leave a link for that in the description as well, but it's something that you might want to look into. If you find yourself in one of those categories, then maybe that's something you would want to explore as an option, because it's obviously a very, very, very flexible option for most people, because you don't have to be anywhere. You can be in, Bali, or you can be in anywhere in the world and be able to get on the phone with somebody and give them advice for a fee. Number 5 here is going to be by utilizing a site called care.com. Now, when people think about care.com, they think, oh, that's for babysitting. I don't want to babysit people. But you can actually also do dog sitting and dog boarding as well. And there's all kinds of different housekeeping options on there. So I would just go on the site and check it out, because it's not just for babysitting. There's so many different options for care.com. My brother's girlfriend actually got a job through that, and it's pretty part-time. It's pretty flexible, and you can really find some cool opportunities and really get some good networking as well. So for example, if you have, say you have some extra room in your house and you don't mind boarding some dogs, you can get paid $200 to board a dog for a week through care.com. There's all kinds of different options behind that, but I think it's a cool website. You might want to just check it out and see what you can find on there. Some things are pretty flexible, and it might be just an awesome opportunity for you. Okay, so the next 4 here on this list, number 4 is going to be by becoming a freelance photographer. Now, I've talked about Shutterstock before, and we're not going to get into that, but what I wanted to mention is by becoming a freelance photographer, and then you can shoot weddings, and you can even do like company headshots, for example. I know somebody who gets $50 per headshot that they do for a company, and they'll go into a company, and the company might have 25 people. They'll charge $50 per person to get their headshot. And so this is just an option for you. Some people might say, I'm not a photographer, I don't know how to take pictures. Well, guess what? There's something called the internet, and you can learn so much behind this. You can go on to Udemy, watch some courses on that, watch something on Skillshare. You can take a course at your local community college if you really feel the need to have a physical presence and have somebody actually teaching you. But you can learn photography somewhat easily. Obviously, there's different levels of skill required that take time to really acquire and build up. But photography is definitely something that you could consider getting into and be very flexible with your time. You can spend a weekend and shoot a wedding and make $1,500 in a single weekend by shooting a wedding whenever you really want to, kind of on your own time. That's what's really awesome about really being a freelance photographer. So there's 3 more on this list that we're going to get into. Some of them are pretty interesting, so I hope you'll stick around for this. Now, also, if you do find the video to be helpful in any way, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment down below on some of your different money-making ideas, side jobs that you might have that I might not have mentioned in this video or some of my previous videos, which you can find on my channel. So number 3 is something that I can personally vouch for, and that's by teaching English online. So there's a few different sites for this. You could use something like QKids, or you could use something like Cambly. Now, I've used Cambly, where you can teach English online. Now, with Cambly, you're only going to make a little bit over $10 an hour. QKids, you can make closer to $20 an hour by teaching English online. And I think the biggest thing that people think, they say, wait a minute, I only speak English. I don't know if I can do this. How do I communicate with them? Well, I only really speak English too. I mean, I can understand German and Spanish, but for the most part, I can really only speak English, but I can still do Cambly, and I do it not too often. I just don't find myself really doing it often, but you can really, make a little bit over $10 an hour on Cambly by just helping people learn English. Usually it's just conversations that you're having with them. They're just getting better at English and they want to have some practice, and you can give them some pointers. But it's pretty laid back. You can, sit in your bed and make money online by just video chatting with somebody who's probably on the other side of the world trying to learn your language. So Cambly and QKids, definitely check them out. I think with QKids you do need to have a college degree, but Cambly you don't. So look into them, and let's get into the next 2. So number 2 is by utilizing a service called Instacart. So this is sort of like Uber Eats or Grubhub, but what you're doing is you're actually delivering groceries. You're actually shopping in the store and then delivering groceries to somebody, and you'll get paid for it. So this is actually something that sometimes Uber drivers will do this and Lyft drivers will do this, but you can do this really almost a full-time gig by delivering groceries to people. But you can also do this very part-time. You get to choose your own hours. The pay is pretty decent from what I've heard. You can go on Glassdoor and just check out the salaries on there and whatnot, but it's very flexible with time, and it's just something that I thought would be really interesting to throw into this list, because it's definitely going to be something that's more up and coming into the future as more people order groceries online and people deliver them to their house. Well, you can be one of those people who delivers them, and you don't necessarily need a car for this. I believe you can use a bike, but I'm not entirely sure. You might want to fact check me on that. But Instacart, and if you don't qualify for Instacart, look into Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash. There's so many different services out there in the gig economy where you can deliver food or other types of items. Okay, so number 1 on this list is going to be by becoming a public notary. Now, this isn't the number 1 side job, but it's something that I've thought about for a while, and I've heard about people starting these notaries and becoming somebody who can notarize something. So when you have to transfer a vehicle, or when you have to get something very important signed, you typically need to go to a notary, somebody who has the ability to sort of say, okay, this is a legal transaction, I'm watching this happen, and I'm seeing these people sign off on this, and I'm signing off on this. And so you can look into becoming a notary. It depends what state you live in, but I know for Pennsylvania, it's not incredibly difficult to become a public notary, and you can even run this out of your house. Really just take a look at what other notaries do in your local area, and a lot of them are running out of their house or just a small office, and they're pretty laid back, kind of side jobs. You could make it into a side job. I would look into it for your state. It might not be worth it for you, but it's definitely something interesting that could pay pretty well, usually about $15, $20 an hour at least, for just being a public notary. Okay, so that kind of wraps up this video. Any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. And don't forget to check out this video if you haven't already, about 7 different passive income sources that you could utilize in order to grow your wealth. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.